Good morning. This is Friday morning at, it's about 8:40. Uh-oh. Apologies. All right, so I want to do it now because I want you to have your homework for this weekend. I haven't been recording as many pages as I normally do, so I'm going to start now so I can make sure you get it for the weekend. All right, so starting on chapter 5, you're starting a new chapter today. So please make sure you have out whatever graphic organizer you need. It could be the graphic organizer that you normally use. Maybe you use the timeline activity. Maybe use the close reading activity. And remember, you have to do 4 actual bullet points, bulleted items inside each block if you're using that. If you're using that, you can also ask questions. You can make comments. You can write character information on the close reading activity sheet. Or you can use the character sheet where you write down information about the characters. So you have chosen that sheet that you want to utilize. Any of them are fine, or you can write a timeline or take notes on your own paper, as long as you demonstrate close active reading and turn that in on Monday. So you're reading pages 101 through 105. I want to read those with you. Page 102 to 105. The blue-black shine that had so nicely encircled TJ's left eye for over a week had almost completely faded by morning. TJ hopped up into the back of the wagon beside Stacy and snuggled in a corner, not occupied by the buttermilk and eggs Big Mom was taking to sell at the market in Strawberry. So even after this fight, TJ's still there. TJ doesn't have any issue being around the family. Because back then, family is family, friends are friends. Regardless of what might happen, loyalty was taken very seriously. As it is today, I'm sure. You can connect to this right now. You can take time to write down a connection. Do you have a friend that you know you'll be loyal to no matter what? Think about that. I sat up front beside Big Ma, still sandy-eyed and not believing that I was actually going. So remember, Cassie never gets to go, and she's so excited to go to the market in Strawberry. It's like going to the city. It's like as if your family decided to go to New York City. And you've always wanted to be to the big city. And so it's an exciting thing for them. Now, Strawberry is nothing close to New York. We don't have skyscrapers and all those things. Because remember, this is the 1930s in Mississippi, the Deep South. So it's more the excitement of having so many different people. And cities basically were constructed with maybe a clothing store, definitely a grocery store, some type of religious edifice like a church, and normally it had other things that just attracted people to that place, somewhere that people could trade different items, somewhere people could sell their items. So that's this big market in Strawberry. The second Saturday of every month was market day in Strawberry. And for as far back as I can remember, the boys and I had been begging Big Mom to take us. Stacy had actually gone once, but Christopher John, Little Man, and I had always been flatly denied to experience. We had, in fact, been denied so often that our pestering now occurred more out of habit than any real belief that we would actually be allowed to go. But this morning, while the world lay black, it's good imagery, Big Ma called, "Cassie, get up. Get up, child, if you want to go to town with me, and be quiet about it. You wake up Christopher John and Little Man, and I'll leave you here. I don't want them crying all over the place because they can't go." As Jack swept the wagon into the gray road, Big Ma, remember Jack is the horse, Big Ma pulled tightly on the reins and grumbled, "Hold on, you Jack. Hold on, I ain't got no time to be putting up with both you and TJ's foolishness." "TJ!" Stacy and I exclaimed together. "He going?" Big Ma didn't answer immediately. She was occupied in the test of wills with Jack. When hers had prevailed and Jack had settled into a moderate trot, she replied moodily, "Mr. Avery come by after y'all was asleep last night, wanting TJ to go to Strawberry to do some shopping for a few things he couldn't get at the Wallace store. Lord, that's all I need with all the trouble about is for that child to talk me to death for 22 miles. So, can you relate to that? Do you have a friend or someone in your life that talks a lot? Write down a connection. Big Ma didn't need to say any more, and she didn't. TJ was far from her favorite person. It was quite obvious that Stacy and I, owed our good fortune entirely to TJ's obnoxious personality. TJ, however, pause here. So because TJ is coming, Big Mom felt like Stacy and Cassie would be a great company for him. Because she ultimately, as she said, didn't need nobody talking to her the entire time on the way to Strawberry Market. TJ, however, was surprisingly subdued, and he settled into the wagon. I suppose that at 3:30 in the morning, even TJ's mouth was tired. So notice a change has happened with TJ. Not a major change, but he's actually quiet for once. What event changed TJ, do you think? What event might have impacted TJ actually being quiet for once? Not being his normal, obnoxious self. Think about it. Write that down. But by dawn, when the December sun was creeping warily upward, shooting pale streams of buff-colored light through the forest, he was fully awake and chattering like a cockatoo. His endless talk made me wish that he had not managed to wheedle his way so speedily back into Stacy Good's graces. So let's talk about that character. What do you think about Stacy being able to forgive TJ for having him? Remember, Stacy was made to look like he was a cheater in front of his mother. Stacy got in trouble. Stacy ended up beating up TJ. Now, seemingly, Stacy has forgiven him and TJ has forgiven him. He endlessly talked made me wish that he had not managed to wheedle his way so speedily back into Stacy's good graces. But Big Ma, her face furrowed in distant thoughts. She did not hush him. He talked the rest of the way into Strawberry, announcing as we arrived, "Well, children, open your eyes and look at Strawberry, Mississippi." "Is this it?" I cried. A gutting disappointment enveloping me. Good vocabulary word, enveloping. As we entered the town, Strawberry was nothing like the tough, sprawling bigness I had envisioned. It was instead a sad, red place. As far as I could see, the only thing modern about it was a paved road, which cut through its center and fled northward away from it, and a spindly row of electrical lines, so they have electricity. Excuse me. Lining the road were strips of red dirt splotched with patches of brown grass.
Good morning, Ellie. Hi.